Hey there buds, Awesomust here! I've been talking about Mario for a while on the channel, huh? Well, don't worry, I prepared something extra special, because I decided to join the FNAF lore scene with a Five Nights at Freddy's timeline! It took a while to create, and it was difficult explaining why Elizabeth would be the one to revive Afton as Burn Trap, but I feel real confident about it. Damn it! Curse you, mimic endoskeleton! Why do you have to exist and only be elaborated on in the books after Security Breach's release? What was even the point of the man in room 1280? Oh well, that video is ruined. I guess I can talk about this game instead.
No, seriously, what the fuck? Huh. That was actually a lot of fun. Good game.
Pizza Tower was a real surprise for me. I only heard about this game right before its release and was hooked by the gameplay shown in the trailer, sporting a speedy Wario Land style. Given my love of Mario and Mario spin-off franchises, I looked forward to trying a game that essentially felt like a love letter to Wario. After trying the game after purchasing it on Steam, it did anything but disappoint, and in fact more than exceeded my expectations. This game has polish, and is what I can only describe as having the gameplay of Wario Land 4, the speed of Sonic, and an art style reminiscent of Courage the Cowardly Dog, Earthworm Jim, and Ren and Stimpy, with all these elements combined after they slipped you ecstasy. Add on top of that an amazing soundtrack, a score attack system, and the need to rush back to the beginning of each level in an intense dash reminiscent of Wario Land 4's Vortex Switch system. And it's no wonder why Pizza Tower is Steam's highest rated game of 2023 thus far. If only the P ranks weren't such a pain in the ass, Pizzascape can go to hell! But all these elements have been praised by many in such a short amount of time, and I want to spice things up a bit more by talking about an element of the game that I believe was executed perfectly: the finale. Pizza Tower's finale is epic, a rush, satisfying, a great test of skill, and tells the player so much without even saying a word. It's one thing to say this, but it's another to explain it, so let's get into it. The final boss of the game, Pizzaface, has had a presence throughout the entirety of the game. He was there in the opening, telling the player character Pepino that he's going to use the tower to destroy his establishment, Pepino Pizza, right to his face. Wow, what an asshole. And while Pepino fought his way through the entirety of the tower to save his pizzeria, Pizzaface was there to give him a hard time, ready to chase him down by the end of each level. All the torment, all the stress and anxiety has built up to this moment, where you finally get to torment him for all he's done to you. Time to lay some smack on this bitch. The atmosphere is perfect. What better place to fight than the top of the tower that you were able to conquer to make it to this very moment. The sky is a gloomy, harsh orange, and serves as an epic backdrop, complete with Pepino's Pizza in the background, the establishment you've been trying this whole game to save. It's there to serve as a reminder of what Pepino's been fighting for, resisting his fear and anxiety through extreme anger and drive. And the fight itself is the perfect difficulty. Pizzaface can overwhelm you if you only focus your attention on him, but if you know what you're doing, it never becomes unbearable. After serving him on a plate with a side of Pepsi, not sponsored, a revelation occurs. It turns out that Pizzaface is nothing more than a machine, being controlled by the true mastermind and current owner of the Pizza Tower, Pizzahead. The fight begins, the sky becoming even gloomier. Pizzahead's design is very clown-like, sporting a goofy red nose, red cheeks, a constant smile, a bow tie, white gloves, and comically big shoes. Even during the fight, everything feels like a joke to him, as every move he makes seems to just be a comedic routine, like destroying Pepino is just for fun. This makes him serve as the antithesis to Pepino, as while he's unhappy and takes everything seriously, Pizzahead is always happy and takes nothing seriously. And the music reflects this perfectly, as it's comedically hectic and unhinged. There are also some details in the music that I picked up on. First were the vocals, which had a real old-timey feel to them. Combine it with this moment of brass band music in the song, and it really starts to give off that feeling. Then after combining all these elements in my head, I came to a realization. The cartoon-like clown vibes, the music that gives a vibe that he's existed for a long time in this world, and the fact that the tower is themed around food and entertainment, Pizzahead began to give off a vibe of McDonald's famous Ronald McDonald mascot. This was further driven by the fact that the tower encompasses portals to fantastical worlds, either themed around or having creatures based on different foods, reminiscent of McDonald's McDonaldland. Combined with actual background details from levels and secret rooms throughout the tower hub, and the constantly appearing cardboard cutouts of the Pizza Boy character, you come to a realization. Pizzahead is the owner of a giant fast food pizza brand that he runs and operates using the tower. And he is not a fan of competition, as he goes to any length imaginable to destroy it, or simulate it into his own tower, which explains why he plans to destroy Pepino Pizza. It's an allegory for giant corporations against the little guy. Pepino is a man who cares for his business, going through great lengths to save it. With that much dedication, you know he makes quality pizza. Pizzahead's pizza is corporate schlock, made from the obligation to satisfy customers and make his brand look good to maintain profits. Refrigerator Freezerator backs this up as well by showing a plethora of frozen ingredients. Even the other bosses support this idea of a giant brand. Pepperman is the artist who designs the decorations, logos, flyers, and posters. The vigilante runs the fun farm, of which ingredients are acquired for the pizzas. The noise helps advertise the brand using NTV, being one of the faces of said brand himself. And fake Pepino is not only meant to be a replacement to serve under Pizzahead's business after Pepino and his pizzeria are destroyed, but serves as a cruel, twisted reminder of what could become of him and Pepino Pizza, especially after what happened to Bruno Pizza and the man himself, becoming a twisted and contorted husk of what he once was. Or maybe I'm just pulling at straws. He could just be a clone of Pepino existing solely for creepy vibes.
Yeah, I can't say I'm feeling this interpretation too much. Hey there, buds. Awesomust editor here, Ed the Savage, interrupting your regularly scheduled cringe with my own interpretation of what fake Pepino represents. While his theory on corporate monopolistic expansionism and Agario-style business practices are interesting and probably not entirely inaccurate, fake Pepino gave me a completely different vibe when I first saw him. In fast food and massive food corporations in general, a common practice is to use synthetics in their products to maximize productivity and minimize costs. You know, stuff like artificial flavoring and dyes and other such chemicals and substance uses for artificial food cultivation. They're easy to mass produce, but are generally considered inferior to the real deal, both flavor-wise and nutrition-wise. I think you already see how this links to the tower's resident creeper. He's essentially a poor substitute of the real deal, made from some sort of synthetic rubbery material. It's a lot easier to mass produce, as while Pizzahead could grow an army of fakes, one real Pepino took about 40-ish years to cultivate. The efficiency was a trade-off for quality, however. One Pepino was able to topple the entire pizza tower by himself, while the fake Pepino couldn't really take a hit or two without melting into nothingness. If you think I'm still grasping at straws, then take a look at what else is on the fake Pepino floor. Both Refrigerator, Freezerator, and Pepibot Factory. 2 levels that Awesomust himself linked to Pizza Tower valuing quantity over quality. Kinda ironic that they both share a floor with the synthetics boss, huh?
Oh, but almighty editor, didn't the farm on the second floor prove that there were genuine fresh food articles being used? What makes you think that these are synthetics? Wouldn't you think that—
Advertise a plastic pizza all you want, no one is gonna eat plastic. Of course real ingredients are gonna be used as well. Even in real life, synthetics are used alongside genuine food articles to ensure acceptably edible quality. The synthetics aren't there so much to completely replace the food as much as they are just to cheapen the production. Although I guess the boss level may suggest that Pizzahead tried to synthesize a pizza making process, but it failed kinda miserably, and as a result he just locked his failure away from prying eyes in the old dilapidated ruins of Bruno's Pizza. Huh. Actually, now that I mention it, what if—
Bad editor! That's a bad editor! My apologies, it seems that my editor didn't know the question of who, as in who the fuck asked. So, where were we? Oh yeah. It's crazy how Pizzahead's motivation comes across so seamlessly, and it's all done without words, which, in my opinion, goes to show how expertly designed this game is. After Pizzahead is defeated, he brings out all the bosses you've previously fought, and it all hits Pepino at once. All the trouble these guys have given him. All the trouble the tower has given him. He doesn't want to be here. He's anxious, afraid, but he has no choice. He was determined to save his restaurant, angry at the very idea that someone would be insane enough to blow it up. He's been stabbed, burned, blown up, shot, covered in cheese, cloned, turned into an animatronic, and this is where his frustration reaches its peak. He's had enough. Pepino's not holding back anymore. Bosses that Pepino struggled with now go down in seconds. He's no longer afraid, he's fucking pissed. And he's more than willing to take it out on all these creeps who damn well deserve it. He's finally conquered his fear, and while all this is happening, the background turns into a dark and raging thunderstorm, which not only serves to make the battle more epic, but is a perfect representation of Pepino's frustrations. After taking out the 4 bosses, Pizzahead returns for a final showdown, mano a mano. While he fights more directly this time, he still takes nothing that's going on seriously. You can only imagine what this is like for Pepino. His livelihood and life are in danger, and Pizzahead sees it as nothing more than a good laugh. But now that they're finally face to face, Pepino is finally able to deliver some well-deserved justice, being able to wail on this clown. This guy gave him so much trouble, so much pain, and he's able to return said pain in one concentrated beating. This all culminates in Pepino's final move. After Pizzahead is finally defeated, Pepino finishes him off with an absolute onslaught, which is so rapid and forceful that it starts to slowly raise them into the air. This ends with Pepino pile-driving Pizzahead into the tower itself, being the ultimate show of his dedication to save his business. All his blood, sweat, and tears going through the tower are shown through this move as he sends Pizzahead into the tower with a boom! It's extremely satisfying to finish Pizzahead off with this move after all he's done, and it is the perfect way to end such an epic fight. Bro, if Pepino was in Smash Bros, I could totally see this move being his final smash. With Pizzahead down for the count, we return to the inside of the tower to destroy it for good, which brings us to the final segment of the entire game, the crumbling tower of pizza. This is a culmination of everything you've learned, as you work your way through each floor of the tower to escape before it all comes crumbling down on you. The visit to each floor showing how far you've come. And the game cleverly hints to this escape early, as John blocks, clocks, and bells can be seen sprinkled throughout the hub. Not only is it clever, but it also gets players who figure it out pretty hyped for the ending. After rescuing your friends and even the other bosses, including Snotty, unless you killed him, you fucking monster, the tower is finally destroyed, bringing Pizzahead's brand and your journey to an end, as Pepino Pizza will be there to keep delivering quality pizza to all who stop on by. And that's the finale of Pizza Tower, one that delivers complete and utter satisfaction in every nook and cranny. One that allows for a great test of skill, a gratifying smackdown, and tells you everything that you need to know purely using details. What was your favorite part of the finale? Be sure to let me know in the comments, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Be sure to check out my friends and have an awesome day.